I mean, when someone teaches you Boyle's law, you sit and listen, right? Because Boyle's law doesn't change. You can't challenge Boyle's law. You can't say PV is not constant, because it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, what the hell? There's nothing you can do about it. It is. So you listen to your physics teacher, or as in my case, a chemistry teacher, because I somehow found that Boyle's law seemed a little more palatable when my chemistry teacher was explaining than my physics teacher was doing it. Okay, I'll leave you with 3 or 4 thoughts, and then we'll decide how to take it from there. To me, excellence is also about having the confidence to share knowledge. If you've achieved a certain level and you don't want to share your knowledge with people, then it's a pretty pathetic level of excellence to achieve. But you'll find the really great people are willing to share their knowledge. A little leg spinner goes up to Shane Warne, and Shane Warne will teach him how to bowl the slider. He's not insecure that one day this guy will come and become better than me. One of the people I admire the most, he's a bit of an oddball, but he makes great advertising films. His name is Prahlad Kakkad. He makes great, very, very nice advertising films. His office is open to anybody who wants to come and learn ad filmmaking. And most people who are very successful in ad filmmaking today have learned from him and gone to set up their own ad film units. And I told him once, I said, doesn't it bother you that, you teach people and they go and make films, and they might make the films that would have come to you? And he just smiled, he just laughed at me. And I said, what a great attitude. I'll train people, I don't care if they're going to take my films. He's not insecure. And I think excellence is not insecure. If you're willing to share your craft with people. Because when knowledge comes, it doesn't come in a sealed envelope. That comes only to you, as singing talent does. And my name was never on that address. The other thing about excellence is, some of us never know how good we are. Some of us think we're better than we are, a lot of us. And some of us have no idea how good we can be. And you'll find people who've achieved excellence have always been willing to stretch a little bit. They'll say, let me try and see what happens if I try that. What's the worst thing that'll happen? To use my father's language, the worst thing that'll happen is you'll fail. Are you scared of failure? If you're not scared of failure, you'll try it. And that is why batsmen, for example, are very good in the age 28 to 32. Traditionally, you find people say that batsmen are the best between 28 to 32, because by then they've stretched and succeeded, or stretched and failed. And they know what they can do and what they cannot do. So I find knowing what I cannot do is very big for me. I know what I cannot do. Suppose I'm sitting in a commentary box with Wasim Akram and Irfan Pathan is bowling. I will not talk about how reverse swing is achieved, because that's what I cannot do. Similarly, Wasim Akram will not try and present a sports show. But all of us learn by trying. A wrong is always a stepping stone to a right. Failure is always the next step to success, the previous step to success, not the next. Excellence lives in the present. Sometimes we hold on too much to the past, or sometimes we're too anxious about the future, and we forget that we must maximize what we are doing now. So typically, if you're a PGB1, you've just come with a fantastic, most people have come with a fantastic academic record from wherever they've come, so they're like kings strutting around. And they're worried, what will happen in PGB, will I get the right job? So how many PGB1s enjoy life here? Enjoy the present. Live in the present, don't hold on to the past. Companies, individuals, organizations for whom the past is more glorious than the present will never succeed. There's a big debate on in Bombay at the moment. And I say Bombay because when you talk cricket, you talk Bombay cricket rather than Mumbai cricket, on why Bombay cricket's not doing well. And the whole debate has people who've shut their eyes. The reason Bombay is not doing well today is because they're living in the past. They talk about the glorious tradition of Bombay. But Subhash Gupta and Vijay Manjrekar and Pauli Umbrigar and Sunil Gavaskar and Dilip Vengsarkar are not going to come and play for Bombay anymore. IMA could have fallen into that trap. IMA could have said, wow, we were a great institute in the 70s, we were path breakers, we were pioneers. Why is IMA still the #1 institute? Because IMA doesn't live in the past. Excellence doesn't live in the past. Excellence lives in the present, always. You cannot say, I did some fantastic programs 5 years ago, so I'm going to live off that. And I got this lesson delivered to me on my first few months of working in rediffusion. We had one of our top managers was big name in advertising. And there was a research manager, also pretty famous. And as part of our orientation, we all had to make presentations on the brands we were handling. So I was given Palmolive shave cream, and I had to present the Palmolive shave cream campaign to Rediffusion, as if I was presenting it to a client. And they tape that presentation and tell me whether I was doing it right or wrong. And that night, everybody was at the bar. I love going to the bar, by the way. If you don't drink, it's the best place in the world to go to. It's an awesome place. Because everybody else, if everyone else drinks, then you must definitely go to the bar if you don't drink. Because you hear great stories in the bar when you are sober and the others are drunk. And both these senior managers were drunk. Or, as they say, delightfully high. You know? And one of them said, why didn't you make a presentation today to these young kids? He told the big boss, why didn't you make a presentation to these kids today? And he said, I've been 25 years in this profession. I don't have to prove myself to him anymore. And he said, don't you think instead of learning of your legend, he learnt of your performance? If you performed in front of him and made a presentation, wouldn't he live with that for the rest of his life and say, wow, this man is great? Rather than saying, 20 people say this man is great, so he must be great. And I said, yeah, what a good thought. Yeah. Put it at the back of my mind. And I told myself, next time you go to the bar, don't drink and listen. And, just as a last story, it helped me a great deal when we were in the Sahara Cup once in 1996 in Toronto, the first Sahara Cup. It came soon after India had beaten Pakistan in that great World Cup game in Bangalore. And Pakistan got, sadly for them, a very, very bad reception when they went back. And here we were in Toronto. The series was level 2-2. So we had to play the final on a Sunday. Some people said the series was meant to be 2-2, but in my innocence, I chose to disregard that. And it rained on the Sunday, so nothing for people to do, right? So everyone ventured towards the bar. The Indians went there because they thought they might see someone interesting. The Pakistan players went there because in their own country they can't go to a bar openly. It's fair call. So they were there, and here I was with my orange juice. And they all got chatting until suddenly one of the Pakistan players, the insecurity that comes out sometimes, and this has nothing to do with excellence, it's just a story I want to end with. He said, यार ये ऐसे नहीं हो सकता कि ये सीरीज 2-2 पे खत्म हो जाए ना आपके घर में पत्थर पड़ेंगे ना हमारे. Yeah? I just leave you with 4 lines. I know there's going to be a few questions. I hope I have no problem with time. You've waited longer than I have, so you might have a problem with time. I don't. I'll just leave you with 4 lines that my father, who was a great lover of Urdu poetry, told me once. He'd put 2 chairs outside. We lived in Hyderabad, not in Bombay, so you could put 2 chairs outside without being in someone else's house. Or, sadly these days, without being in a flood. And he talked to me about various things in life, And unlike my son, who sort of after 10 minutes starts fidgeting, it wasn't done in those days to fidget in front of your dad, yeah. And he told me these 4 great lines. And many years later, there was this Pakistani group called Junoon. And I was listening to Junoon because someone had told me you must listen to a song called Sayyoni. And I heard that, and I suddenly heard this other song. And I said, these are the 4 lines my dad told me. And it said, raise yourself to such a level that when God wants to grant you fortune, He asks you, what do you want? Can you raise yourself to a level where God asks, before granting you fortune, what do you want? It's a great state of mind to aspire to be. It says, खुदी को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे, बता तेरी रजा क्या है. Thanks a lot.